All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to I'll name the segment later. GTG spits that grease, so on and so forth. Title forever in the works. Sorry, this nonsense I'm about to present to you guys is going to be kind of silly. In any case, we do have a sponsor and whatnot. Let me actually see if we can pull him up. If not, I'll have to show him in post. Big ups to Master Sparksies. He's actually been featured before, but I didn't get the insert in. But I asked if they could throw him into the thumbnail instead. That might be something we do moving forward. We'll see. But I did want to see how that would look, and I think it came out pretty cool. But anyway, big ups to Master Sparksies. We're gonna go with the Cope Corner. I really like that and whatnot. So that's what we're gonna call our show, and which is actually kind of rather fitting given what this situation is going on. If the title hasn't given me away yet, apparently DSP wants to celebrate May 1st burst. Or he's calling it blast or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a stupid thing anyway. And he is open and willing to have Asmongold come up there and, you know, talk about some stuff, talk about the Asmongold drama, not drama, but when he got banned from Twitch for like 3 days or whatever it was, and so on and so forth. So basically just using this as a humiliation situation or ritual, if you will, to garner another stimulus package from Asmongold, which this would be the third one, to be honest, and it isn't working out. And if I remember correctly, I think DSP exposed himself, now I think about it, but DSP just recently was looking at one of the edited videos that he had posted, excuse me, and he actually went and broke the numbers down on stream. He shouldn't have done this, but he went ahead and broke the numbers down and come to realize, or he came to the realization, I should say, that for a 45 minute video, whatever it was, the average viewership was only like 5 minutes. It's wild that you would actually say that publicly. Like, you should not let people know that. But then again, to be honest, DSP has always chased views, not necessarily retention, or audience retention, if you will. So for him, he probably doesn't really care, except for YouTube's algorithm and YouTube's system over the past decade or so. If not, it's probably always been that way. Is very much directed to not only you getting views, but getting people onto your video and keeping them there for as long as possible, if not throughout the entire video. So, you know, if DSP is putting up hour-long videos and he's only holding people for about 5 minutes or so, yikes, son, yikes. That's a big oomph on there.
Beavis says, do you need edited content to be profitable by itself or exposure through value? Or is exposure enough value? No, both. I want to get exposure from the videos and I want to make money on them. Right now, I have gotten some exposure from the edited stuff that I'm paying an editor to make, but I haven't made any money at all. Like, actually, now that you've mentioned that, okay, what I'll do is I'll take a look and see if there's been an update to the profits that I've made on the Crimson Desert video. Let's see here. So the revenue updates retroactively once a day. What I mean by that is it'll update like yesterday, later today. Does that make sense? It's always behind by around a day. As of right now, I have over 962 watch hours. What? The video is 30 minutes long. I'm going to try something. If those, I don't know if those watch hours are accurate. I'm curious. It's saying 962 watch hours. That would mean 57,000 minutes, right? Divide that by 11,500 people. It's claiming each person only watched the video for 5 minutes. But that's not what the analytics say. The analytics say the average view time is like 10 minutes. YouTube stuff doesn't even work. Their analytics are so stupid. They don't even make sense because I'm looking at the watch hours. I'm like, that doesn't make sense based on what the other analytics said. Anyway, this is why it's not that important to really dwell on that stuff. But as of now, I have still not made any money on the Crimson Desert video. It's still a loss. And that's the highest viewed one that I've had. So you can imagine all the other ones that I've done, the edited ones. There's been 5 total so far. I've lost money on every single one. And I think that's just going to be a given for a while. unless these videos start to really gain traction. And here's what'll happen, undoubtedly. When you get one video that hits the algorithm and you get views based off of it, people come to the channel and start watching other content. Like I noticed some of the people who watched the Crimson Desert review started watching a few other playthroughs and commenting on them. I noticed that the other edited videos got a little bit of an increase of viewership. And that's the idea, is that eventually as people will discover my channel for the edited content, they'll then check out the other content that's on the channel, and eventually this will all result in a net gain. Right now, it's definitely a net loss, but what are you going to do? That's how it works. You know, you need to spend money to make money, as they say.
So with that revelation, him wanting to speak to Asmongold and trying to get more artificial inflation makes sense, to be honest. It's a lot of sense. So anyway, I'm not going to hold you guys off any longer. Let me go ahead and shut my music off, which I'm very sad about that. And let's actually jump into this video real quick. And because I'd like to try to have this out on May 1st, because why not? And why not? Even though I'm pretty sure Gundam's doing something that day. I think that being said is doing something too. And Rich or Review Tech USA might try to do something. Not that that matters. Anyway, so yeah, let me see if I can just get it out there before. Hopefully it comes out May 1st. Hopefully.
Mojito Kitty has literally spammed the chat for endlessly for 3 days, saying, let's lock in Asmongold for Friday's marathon while we still have time. Literally, he won't stop spamming the chat saying that.
And big ups to Raw Phil.
What do you guys think? All right, let's actually turn this over to the...
All right, hold on a second. Let's do this. Let's do this right. So first off, excuse me. Let's go ahead and give credit where credit's due. Big ups to Raw Phil. And big ups to Diggs for clipping this. I still don't have an insert for Diggs yet. He says he doesn't really care. But I will eventually make one for him once he gives me like a profile picture or something that he's cool with using. Anyway, and this is from this is DSP basically having his Asmongold segment. This is from April 28th of 2026. You guys all know the routine with that. And without further ado, I don't smell no piggy squirting. Ew, that's disgusting. Anyway, here we go.
Proud. Mojito Kitty has literally spammed the chat for endlessly for 3 days, saying, let's lock in Asmongold for Friday's marathon while we still have time. Literally, he won't stop spamming the chat saying that. What do you guys think? All right, let's actually turn this over to the crowd. The over 200 some people on YouTube. And how many do we have on Kick this morning? 0. According to this, we have 0 viewers. Let me refresh that. Okay, we have 113 views.
Now, also, I want to point this out. So remember how I spoke earlier about DSP's retention being very low for his videos or whatever? Especially the edited content that he's hell-bent on doing. Ironically enough, that narrative, or what you just heard him say just a minute ago, I should say, that excuse of, oh, you know, the system's bad, or the system's not calculating time right, or whatever. That's what he's going to use, if he hasn't used it already, to explain why his retention's so low. I'll see if I can have Diggs edit that segment in so you can actually hear it itself. But I think he's going to use that as the excuse. Oh, the system doesn't update properly, so on and so forth. He's brought up recently, too, about how ad revenue is calculated and whatnot. It's like theoretically, it's every 24 hours, but it'd be like a 48-hour stagger. So, like, if DSP puts out an edited video on, like, Friday, he wouldn't actually see what it actually has generated in revenue till, like, Sunday, theoretically. Some along those lines. So I think he's divulging more and more of this to try to basically give him a way out later. On top of that, someone told me, or I read it somewhere, actually it might have been both, but someone was telling me that DSP accidentally exposed what his CPM is. And they said it was like $2.60 or something like that. I have to actually find that clip. If I do, I'll see if Diggs can put that in here as well, or I'll ask Diggs if he can find it. But if that is true, if that's really the case, yikes, Phil, take your ass back to Twitch. Take your ass back to Twitch if that's really the case. You sitting around doesn't mean shit. You leaving your streams unlisted or deleted damn sure don't mean shit. You've literally fucking cratered the fucking channel. If your CPM is really that low, then you need to get the fuck up off. I thought honestly that it would be at like $7 or whatever for every 1,000 views. But if it's really only at like $2.50, $2.70, get the fuck off of this shit and take your punk ass back to Twitch. Take your ass back to Twitch.
We're trying to Kick. I thought as much. For those of you,
good God,
who watch my content, all right? Do you even care, to be honest? Like, let's say, for example...
I mean, even people in his own audience have said this, that shit has gotten so boring that any little shakeup they can get, the better. Like, you're not going to talk to another detractor, so you might as well go ahead and suckle that fucking Asmongold and see what you can get off him.
Asmongold came by this Friday during my May 1st mega
busting
marathon and hung out for like 10 minutes and we had a conversation. Would you care? Because ultimately, I don't really care about, you know what I mean? Like one person spamming the chat. I care about my actual audience of viewers. Like, is it a big deal?
So he basically gaslighted himself and pressured the audience into pressuring him into begging for Asmongold to show up. That's silly if that's what that really is.
Because the thing is, I don't really care that much, honestly. Like, I think the guy is an okay guy. I don't know. I don't watch his content, right? Well,
he's an okay guy. So what? Like, he wasn't nice enough to you to, one, give you a platform the first time around. Go ahead and he basically dropped off 4,000 or 5,000 people to you the second time around and whatnot. So he's just an okay guy? Wow. But you used to love the shit out of Stuttering Craig, and he was just nice to you over a weekend. You didn't even reap any of the benefits of that because you weren't even making content yet. But Asmongold's just okay. Oh, you're trying to ride the fence and shit because Asmongold got a bunch of shit on him, and you don't want that shit to reflect on you and whatnot. Holy shit. And that's the difference, ladies and gentlemen, between being loyal and being an opportunist. DSP ain't loyal to shit. He'll suck whatever dick he needs to get himself from A to B. But then he demands loyalty from other people, which makes no damn sense if you think about that. That's a larger conversation for another day.
Takes on me, I think, are funny. Like when he reacts to me, of course, most of the time when he reacts to me, he reacts to out of context stuff. So he only understands the context of what he's watching. And I think that his takes...
And yet the out of context stuff, allegedly, is what got you noticed. Keep that in mind.
They're funny when he reacts to me. I had a 2-hour conversation with the man in November that was incredibly level-headed and fair conversation. And at the end of that conversation, I thought that we kind of had a vibe of, hey, we're both guys who like games. I'm kind of misunderstood on the internet. He kind of understood that after talking with me for 2 hours. And we was like a cool thing.
And yet nothing really came out of it outside of the, 9,000 supposed subs that he got out of it, which didn't translate into viewership. So that doesn't mean jack shit of jack shit. He made himself a bunch of money, but that didn't matter because that got spent almost as quickly as he got it. Now I think about it, someone said there's a segment out there that DSP has done in the last week or so where he explains his overspending by saying that I knew the money wasn't going to last forever, so I spent it as quickly as I got it. What logic is that? If that's true, and what I haven't heard it yet, but if that's true, I definitely want to go over that because that's just absolute irresponsibility on an egregious level. If that's true, like that's not just even being financially stunted. That's just a lack of common sense that just doesn't make sense at all. Like when things are profitable or bountiful or whatever, you fucking save quote unquote Phil for a rainy day. You don't just spend it just so you're in an even worse situation going into a bad time, unless you're planning on doing that to victimize yourself. He has, and this is something that I've told you, that DSP constantly has to be in a dire state. He constantly needs to be in a state of need or peril or whatever, right? Because that's the only way that he can really sell it. It's the only way that, I guess, for him, it feels authentic. He always needs to be fucked up. So it can push the begging, not just justifying it, not just reinforcing it, but to, I guess, in a sick sort of way to keep him honest. At least as it pertains to being in peril. To some degree, anyway. Just yikes.
Then, last month, you guys wanted me to get him on my birthday marathon, right? So I made a formal invite. Why? Because it's the only way I can get his attention. Like, if I try to private message him or whatever, he will never see it and never respond. But if I do a big public thing on a show, people will send him the clip, right?
You mean the same people that take your shit out of context, but it's the only way to get you noticed because that's the only digestible way for people like Asmongold to actually take it in? Okay, I'm just asking for. I'm just trying to make sure I got this shit right in my own head.
So I did a big public thing saying, hey, I got my birthday coming up. I'm doing a day-long marathon. If you want to come by and just hang out for a few minutes, that'd be cool. It's up to you. And apparently he watched the clip. He said, hey, I am interested in doing that. Maybe we will. And then during my birthday marathon, people actually came and reminded him. He said, oh, shit, I actually do want to do that, but I'm going to eat. I'll be right back. And then he got banned from Twitch while he was eating. So because of that, he didn't go back online for a week. So obviously he wasn't able to come and hang out and say hi on the birthday marathon, right? So does anyone...
So are you... He completely and utterly memory hold the fact that 4,000 or 5,000... That he still, Asmongold, directed 4,000 or 5,000 people to go to DSP stream. He made some money. He completely wiped all of that off the board. Oh, Asmongold didn't show up, so nothing really came out of that. But the people that Asmongold basically dropped off to the birthday party on some 5 nights at fucking Gouty Freddy's type shit, none of that shit matters? Oh, Asmongold didn't show up, so none of it really had any value. But what about the 4,000 or 5,000 people who did show up that were directed or, yet again, were dropped off by Asmongold and shit that you got raided with? Yet again, man, not loyal to nothing, not appreciative of nothing. That's even worse. It's bad enough if you're not loyal, but you don't appreciate shit either.
Actually care? Because here's the thing. People say, oh, he's fake or whatever. Here's the deal.
DSP don't care about none of that shit. He's still going to take advantage of him. Because people were saying that shit about Stuttering Craig. Like, hey, you need to be careful with Stuttering Craig. He's going into drama content. DSP didn't care as long as he got what he wanted. People told him the same thing about Kino Casino. He still went into that shit head first. He don't give a shit about none of that. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't give a shit about any of that. Think about the situation with Laveria or Fotabi and shit. He said that he saw all kinds of red flags, still went with it anyway because he thought he could get that managed partnership. DSP don't give a fuck about none of that. He'll just use that to victimize himself later. Yet again, it's like what's that show I used to like watching? Well, there's 2 shows. They used to do that survival shit. It was like Man vs. Wild, and then there's the other one, the guy who actually had to like film his own stuff and you'd be out there for 7 days. They were fun watches. Anyway, but it's like Man vs. Wild, right? For example, where he would put himself in peril so he could teach you how to get out of shit. Well, DSP, yet again, throws himself into peril so he has an excuse to beg and then victimize himself later. Well, beg and victimize himself, I should say. Yikes, man.
He knows how the game works. So does a lot of people, all right? He probably doesn't really like me, but at the same time, he doesn't hate me. But he knows that reacting to me brings in attention and gets him views. So obviously, he likes the fact that we have kind of a little back and forth. And that every once in a while, he could talk about me and get a rise from his audience. And then every once in a while, I talk about him and it goes back. You know, it reciprocates.
It really don't, though. You talk about Asmongold, that don't mean shit. Asmongold laughs at you. He reaps all the benefit. Which means, and then DSP basically tries to guilt trip Asmongold into, well, hey, man, you should help me out. And then Asmongold might throw you a crumb off of his roach-infested fucking table. This is not the equal-sided bullshit you think it is. And DSP knows that. DSP very much understands the power dynamic, or the lack thereof on his part, of any power, authority, influence, or none of that bullshit. You're just another fucking lol cow that he laughs at on the internet. That's it. You're not special. You're not unique. None of that. He gets way more, and meaning Asmongold, he gets way more traction going at XQC and fucking Hassan Piker than you. Like, by leaps and bounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, despite... fucking A, man. I was reading it on Twitter or something. Asmongold owes like $400,000 in fucking back property tax or some bullshit. I mean, he's gonna pay it, so it is what it is. He can afford it. But fucking A, or it's between. Let's just say it's between $200,000 and $400,000 that he owes. And like there's a segment of it that was on stream. He talked about it briefly. If I can find out, I'll see if I can have Diggs put that in here too.
Do you guys mind if you give me a couple of minutes here? I had to get certified mail from the IRS, and it says I owe them $397,000. So do you mind if I just take a photo of this and send it to my accountant real quick? I've got to deal with this. Not a good day to be me. Give me a second. It's a little bit late. Yeah, it says intent to seize your property. So, which, I mean, honestly, I think that would be convenient for me. Then that would just work itself out. I just found out how much money I had to pay this year. They said basically it's gonna get worked out. It's not a big deal. That was not even a tenth of it. Oh man. Oh man. How about that? I mean, to be fair, it was including a quarterly, right? I think it was a quarterly payment. So, like, look, guys, we've got to do a chair. I've got to get some fucking write-offs, okay? Like, I didn't know that. We got to get, like, I got to be, like, signing this house up to, like, a write-off or something like that. Oh, my fucking God. Wow. Oh, jeez. I mean, to be fair, you get a letter from the IRS that says you owe them almost $500,000. This is, I will be honest, I am slightly flustered. I have no problem chipping it. It's not a big deal. But, like, god damn. Like, I gotta figure out something to do with this. We gotta, like, I gotta buy some, like, fine art and, like, then write it off and then, like, have it appraised, pay the appraiser, and then say the value of it went down and then, like, write that off as, like, a capital gains loss.
I'll tell you how much you can spend.
Okay.
Okay, how much do you make? You just had tax issues, right? So you probably know how much you make.
That was a
know how
rounding
much I
error.
owed. I owed over $4 million.
Okay, so $4 million. Was that after estimated taxes? Was that the back pay?
No, that was my estimated taxes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
so $4 million. So you probably make after taxes, what is that?
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't know what the answer is. I got a 1099 and it was like millions of dollars. I don't even know where it came from.
You probably have $6 to $8 million left after taxes.
More than that, probably. A lot more than that.
Really? Well, how are you only paying $4?
Well, I mean, like, I think it's probably like just not that much more, but like,
okay.
it's more.
Spend $2 million a year.
$2 million
Spend
a
$2 million a
year?
year.
Oh my God.
Wine and dine your boy. Take him on a yacht.
$2 million. What the
Get sexy
fuck
on the
would I
beach.
do with $2 million a year?
I don't know.
Good God, that's a ridiculous amount of money to owe like that. And so he needs to go ahead and talk to his bookkeeper. Something wrong or something happened. Something happened or something needs to happen. Like either someone misappropriated his funds or someone did something. And I wonder if DSP will try to use that later, because I'm trying to think in the long term here. I wonder if DSP will use that in the long term, saying, oh, did you hear about what happened to Asmongold, guys? And how, he owed all this money in property tax and he didn't know anything about it. Now he had to pay it all up. Well, that happened to me with the guy who's doing my taxes in Connecticut. I'm telling you this now because DSP is the type of scumbag to do so. So I'm just going to put that out there now, just in case he try to use it later.
So I don't think he has any problem, like he did during the birthday marathon, hosting my kick stream, which results in me getting like $1,000. And
oh, now you want to admit that he helped you. Okay, now you want to admit that he hosted your stream and you got yourself a little bit of money. Now you want to say so. Why didn't you lead with that? I'm asking for a friend.
Ridiculous amounts of views on my stream. That was pretty nice of him. Like, that's like the second solid he's done me. You know what I mean? And
what solids have you done for him? How is this a back and forth type of relationship or whatnot? It's almost like it's really just a symbiotic relationship, to be honest with you. Like you're desperately trying to cling to him like cancer, and he's keeping you at a distance because he really don't need you. And there's no benefit to associating with you, and you know that. And DSP knows that.
Really cool that he went out of his way to do that. So
DSP's only defense is basically defense it. Oh, people don't like him. People think he's fake, this, that, and the third. Well, he's been nice to me. You know what I'm saying? He's going to go with the fucking, what DSP's done before. But he's going to go with like the duty defense and shit. He's going to go with that silly ass shit. We saw how well that worked out for Duty and fucking Review Tech USA. Holy shit.
I don't want to keep bothering the guy and being like, hey, will you come to the next marathon? Will you come to the next marathon? No. Like, if he wants to, that's cool. I'm down for it. If he ever wanted to come on and hang out and have a conversation, I'm down for it. Like, that was an awesome conversation that we had in November, 100%. And since then, so much has changed. As a direct result of us having that conversation together in November, what has happened? I've massively improved my setup.
See, something don't even make sense about that if you think about it. Because realistically, he's blending the Kino Casino stimulus package and the Asmongold stimulus package together. Because he knows he can never really escape Kino Casino in the 8 months that he was sucking their dick and the 50 grand that he damn near made off of them and all that bullshit at Kino Casino's deficit, by the way. But he don't want to acknowledge that. And DSP has never been able to make that $3,000 on that solo stream and whatnot to go ahead and show Kino Casino that he really never needed them and he's better than them. So now he's blending that stimulus package, Kino Casino, into the Asmongold shit. Because realistically, what happened to all the quote unquote fucking upgrades and all that bullshit that you did during the Kino Casino art? Makes you think. Speaking of which, this is just me though. See the shirt that DSP's wearing, this white one right here? You know what that kind of reminds me of at first glance? It kind of reminds me of this show with Kurt, or not a show, it was a movie. It had Kurt Russell in it. It's like a martial arts sci-fi thing. It's an old movie though. But I want to tell you it's called Big Trouble in Little China and whatnot, because I'm pretty sure Kurt Russell's character plays as a truck driver, right? Or something along those lines. This shirt initially, at first glance, it kind of reminds me of that. Because I think at this point we figured it out. This is a tee. It's a, you know what I'm saying? It's a t-shirt. Or it's a tank top, sorry. It's a tank top, I think. Anyway, but the initial design, I haven't seen the whole design yet, but this initial design kind of reminds me of that, to be honest with you. Kind of reminds me of Big Trouble in Little China a little bit. He don't look shit like Kurt Russell, but it kind of, that shirt kind of gives off that type of thought or vibe.
In my studio, I no longer have goals on my streams.
That's a lie. And whatnot. We don't hit $150 per stream. We get into a hissy fit and games start getting, then we start doing board meetings to decide what gets put on the chopping block. So the goal is there. Even if the name doesn't exist, the goal is still there.
I make so much now overall in my content. I have ultimate flexibility to jump around and play any game that I want at a moment's notice. I've gotten every cool peripheral and thing and gadget and gizmo to make my streams better.
No, they're there just to fill your space and make you feel like you're more of a, I guess it makes you look the part, I suppose. Because I mean, you're a fraud, you know what I'm saying? And you're a fucking poser. So frauds and posers need outside peripherals and shit to make them look the part. And I think that's really what this is with DSP. He's just trying to crowd his space. He's trying to make himself seem more important than what he really is. That's all. And it's nothing more than that. And if you see anything more than that, then you're probably giving DSP too much credit, to be honest. That's the reason why he didn't fucking commit to upgrading all his shit during Vestry. He didn't want to. It wasn't that, you know, all he cared about was WWE champions and his drinking. And that was it. And then later on, he was trying to get up with the big boys, so to speak. And so he needed to fucking change shit. And to be honest with you, I still believe that all of this is just leading up to his return to Twitch, because he wasn't streaming at Twitch's standards back in those days, and he knows it, but now he is. And if ad revenue is really so bad on YouTube and he can actually get away with some of that on Twitch, then he's more than likely going to, on top of the fact that he'll make more money in Twitch subs anyway. You know what I'm saying? So even with the 30-70 split or whatever the fuck, he'll still walk away with more money than what he's making on YouTube, and theoretically what he's making on Kick. Because even with the 95-5 split, 10% of nothing's still nothing. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have the viewership that warrants that little weekly paycheck he's getting. I'm actually surprised that they still allow him to have that. You know what I mean? But maybe you have to really hit a real low for them to be like, all right, we're not going to demonetize you, but we're going to kick you out of the partner program because you're just not producing. You know what I mean? Like YouTube's partner program is very flexible like that too. They just don't boot you just to boot you. There are certain criteria you got to follow and you have to essentially fall short of before they decide to remove you. So Kick may very well be the same thing, but he's not doing shit on Kick. So instead of dropping Kick and just dual streaming on YouTube and Twitch, he might as well keep Kick for as long as he can and just stream on Kick and Twitch and just turn YouTube into an archive and pray he can do something. He puts the edited content on a channel that has a better CPM that he can get more ad revenue. Something. Because what he's doing now is fucking failing miserably if what's being said about him is true.
And overall, everything has just been so much better since then. Like, no exaggeration, because he gave me positive attention and a fair chance to be viewed by a new audience. Things have improved dramatically for me in my content and my life. So,
but that's not true though. Like, the content's still garbage. The content is still trash. And in your life, we're still not taking Cat on a honeymoon. We can't take multiple days off to have even a staycation type situation. You're still always bitching and complaining about stuff that you need, stuff that you have to do, finances and all that. What's really changed? You're buying a bunch, like he's a walking contradiction. Like, he's buying all this shit to show that he's not poor. But then if we don't hit these quote unquote goals and shit, well, we got to drop games because he has to do what's profitable. So which one is it? We're doing okay where we could take hits on certain games that we supposedly love so much and want to keep playing, or we're broke as fuck and we're spending a bunch of shit because we're a poser and we're a fraud and we really need this money and we need to keep the money train coming. Because theoretically, just like during his birthday, the birthday stream, the same thing with this. He's saying he doesn't need Asmongold, but yet he's slowly but surely, as he keeps going along, comes up with all these ideas and stuff that they could talk about. And he's he's already admitted that he can't get a hold of Asmongold any other way on normal circumstances, if you will, which is the reason why he's doing this for this event, because he believes the event itself would be enough to draw Asmongold's attention. Maybe that's just me, though. I could be overthinking this.
I'm grateful to the guy for giving me that opportunity. That was very nice of him. He didn't have to do that, you know? And
some people say he certainly shouldn't have. And truth be told, to be fair, Asmongold probably shouldn't have, because it didn't change anything. At the end of the day, it was still a one-sided win for Asmongold that he didn't even want. And DSP didn't reap the benefit of anything. How is it that you're up there talking to one of the biggest streamers, if not the biggest streamer out there, controversial or not, and you literally got nothing out of it? You literally got nothing out of it, if you think about it.
I'm moving forward doing my own thing. So why is it that,
like I said, what you get in the short term is one thing, but what you can actually benefit from and build and grow off of in the long term is where the real value is. But he never learned that, so it is what it is on that.
You guys keep saying shit like, hey, are you gonna bother this guy and you're gonna ask him to come on your marathon? Are you gonna do this? No, I'm making my own content. My content is not reliant on Asmongold or his reaction to my content or him coming and hanging out with me. If he ever wanted to come,
but it kind of is though,
come by and have a cool conversation or whatever, sure.
Like, because he needs a boost. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason why we're having this segment. He needs a boost. So theoretically, you kind of do need Asmongold.
I'm not gonna say no, but that's on him. Like, right now, my marathon on Friday is gonna be fun. We're gonna be.
Well, he's contradicting himself again, because like he's saying that's completely on him. Well, that's because you have no way of getting a hold of him. Like, yeah, he has a choice of what he's going to do and what he doesn't innately. But also the secondary to that is you have no way of harassing him. You have no way of being able to reach out to him. You know what I'm saying? Hell, even with low tier God having him blocked on Twitter, he could still theoretically, he does have a way or a means to reach out to LTG. Like, he can go to his fucking YouTube channel. He can go to his Twitch. He can go to his Kick. I don't think he's blocked there and ask or harass him or whatever the fuck. But with Asmongold, he doesn't have that. And he don't want to show up to Asmongold's stream and publicly ask him because he knows he's going to get clowned on. So, womp womp.
Celebrating the history of Mega Man. We're going to be doing a bunch of Mega Man games. We're going to have a whole bunch of silly fun and memes.
That's crazy he dragged out that Mega Man thing as long as he did. Because didn't he already do like 2 marathons of that shit? Maybe 3? And now you're going to do this? God damn, bro. That's crazy how he did that.
And good stuff. I'll tell you right now, Friday's going to be a great stream. Okay, it is. It's going to be funny. It's going to be a good time. Everyone's going to have a good time with the Mega
Busting
Marathon this Friday.
And then you're completely doing this marathon out of spite. Like, you clearly don't want to do this. You're clearly doing it just to spite your detractors, which don't mean anything, because even if they decide to tap out halfway through, right, they're still going to make more money than you do, and they're probably still going to have better views than you. So it literally means nothing. So it's just another stream that's going to be left on his channel, right? And it won't matter. If he breaks 10,000 on, I'll be surprised. And then that's even more ironic, because didn't DSP say he couldn't leave the archive up because they were getting reported this, that, and third? But when he does these big streams and marathons, he leaves those up. Huh. That's curious. That's strange. Okay.
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 Now, if he decides he wants to come by and say hello, awesome. He's always welcome. But the last time I checked, I don't think Asmongold is too concerned. He has things going on in his life that are important, and I think that talking to DSP is not one of them.
But yet you can still justify harassing Wings of Redemption and fucking Low Tier God? Interesting.
Know what I mean? Maybe at some point something will happen that's pertinent and interesting. He'll be like, now I do want to talk to DSP because now something's going on. I don't think that's happening right now. So me sitting here.
So you're okay with Asmongold using you for drama, a slow day type scenario, if you will, because you would do that to him if you had the opportunity? Okay, that's a choice. That's a choice.
We're like, oh, Asmongold, will you please come on my marathon and please have a conversation with me? What's the point?
I mean, it theoretically worked for you the first time.
Why am I going to act like that? I don't need it, nor do I think that it's in his good use of his time. You know what I'm saying?
So you only want to deal with Asmongold when you really need him for something. So you guys don't really have any camaraderie. He's not a fellow gamer or none of that bullshit. He's only there to be used. Yikes. And DSP wonders why no one wants to talk to him. And he wonders why no one wants to talk to him. What a scumbag. Holy fuck. Like, people don't exist for you to use them.
Exactly. So, all right. So here. So I'm sure people are going to send him this clip, or maybe they won't. Who knows? Because who knows what context they'll send, right? Will they send the full context, or will they only send 10 seconds of what I just said? Who knows, right? So here, I'll summarize. This Friday, May 1st, I'm doing a special anniversary celebration marathon. Okay? It's going to be cool retro vibes. I'm going to be drinking.
And what are we celebrating again? You recording yourself or streaming yourself jerking off 10 years ago? Just for context. That's all I'm saying.
It's going to be a fun time. If Asmongold is streaming and at any point during the day he decides, hey, I want to hop on and have a conversation with Phil for a bit, he's welcome. I'll be here all day. I'll just get my Discord set up. I'll have to try to do it ahead of time because actually I didn't do it ahead of time for my birthday marathon, and that was on me. I'll set it up so if he's ready, if he wants.
Which is weird because you literally made a video, or you made a segment just like this, asking if he wants to come on, he should, and yet you weren't willing to do something as something as easy as 5 minutes of setting up your Discord so you can catch his audio. Well, and his, I guess, also the video too, I suppose. All right, whatever.
To come on and hang out and have a conversation, we could do it, but we also don't have to. It's not a big deal. But if he so wishes to do that, he can. He's welcome. It was unfortunate that it sounded like he wanted to do it during my birthday marathon, and then he got banned from Twitch, and therefore he couldn't stream for a week. That sucked.
Well, that's not really true, because he actually low-key forgot about it, to be honest. Then he was reminded, and then he's like, maybe we drop by. Let's not act like he was, chomping at the bit to go over there and talk to you.
Right? But it's all on him. I'm not asking for a favor. I'm not asking for his attention. It's only if he feels like doing it. So if people tell him during Friday, hey, Phil's streaming, would you want to go on? He says yes, then yeah, we could do it. But if not, it's not.
And also, as you're listening to this, it makes me wonder, I should say, one, that bruise on his wrist is fucking crazy. Anyway, it makes me wonder, like, are you really trying to build, like, actual, like, relationships with people, or, like, any real camaraderie, or is just everything a transaction to you? And if it is the latter, then it makes sense why no one really wants to deal with you. Yeah, we live in a world where people use people and vice versa, so on and so forth. But DSP is literally out to misuse you. He's out there to use you for everything he can get out of you, and then discard you the moment that you're not convenient or expedient for him. Just saying.
Not a big deal. We're still going to have a good time no matter what. Okay? There you go. Send them whatever clip you want. Go for it. Okay.
Yikes. Absolutely yikes.
Okay. Maybe Wings would come on, says P. Manning. Wings could come on my show whenever he wants. Right now, if Wings of Redemption said, hey,
One of his favorite people to victimize.
Phil, I wanted to talk to you for 10 minutes.
I don't know if you'd be wanting Jordy to come up there now, though, because some of that PDF bullshit's come back on Jordy. And now Keem's getting on his neck about that shit. I think that was in, I'm pretty sure it's in a Lumix video. It might be in a Breaking Banquet video. I know it's in an OVO video where, like, Keem responds to some of the PDF file shit. Which, Keem really don't have no business doing that shit, being that he's in bed with fucking kid behind the camera who legitimately is a pedophile. So, and then all those fucking dudes who ain't ran through the LCU who also had pedophile tendencies themselves. If not outright, they discovered they were pedophiles. So Keem really don't have no room to talk either, but whatever.
I would bring him on immediately.
I might do a video on that. We'll see.
And we could chat for 10 minutes. I don't care. The thing with Wings is, like, it has to be like this big pre-planned production, and like then he can't make it anyway.
Realistically, Wings doesn't want his time to be wasted. And then more importantly than that, he's literally doing you a favor, Solid, because he's not going to get no money out of it dealing with you. If you were talking to fucking Wings on his platform, he'll pull in more views than you. Whether those people tip him or not is a whole nother story in itself. But he will pull in more views than you. Like, it's all one-sided, him talking to you. He's not the lonely loser that you... Well, he is. He's Wings is all those things. But he's not the loser that DSP thinks he is, that he can have... That DSP can make Wings completely and utterly dependent on him. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? It's literally not like that. DSP thinks so, but it's not.
I don't know.
Like, Wings can legitimately still get people to talk to him. And when a DSP can't.
I don't know what's up with him. I heard that he's doing all kinds of stuff these days. I heard that now he's on a morning show on Lalcow Live. It's like... Yeah,
he's back over there. I didn't know David Jaffe came back to the LCU. I thought he would have been, I mean, after he got fired. But, like, I'm surprised he went back. So I guess him and Keem had a conversation or whatever. But I'm really surprised David Jaffe went back. I'm really shocked by that. I don't know who the third guy is. I've never really seen that guy before. And then you got Wings on there, and it's like, I haven't really cared enough to sit down and actually watch it. But whatever.
Wait, what? You said 17, 18, 20, 40, 50 times you're not going back to Lalcow. Now he's on Lalcow again, but it's a different show. Like, it's not the main...
But you're full of shit, though, because you knew he was going to go back. You've even said that he was going to go back, and it wasn't healthy for him to go back. So it's not like this should be a surprise to you. You knew he was going to go back.
Show. It's like a different show he's on now, I guess, as one of the hosts. So sadly, I guess he wasn't making enough on his own streams that he had to have another revenue source, so he's gone back to Lalcow again, despite the fact he said he wouldn't.
This is the same guy who said he was going to have goals and then drop goals, said he was going to have goals, said he was going to drop goals, and he kept going back to the well, too. So who the fuck are you to criticize somebody else, especially a fellow lolcow?
So he now apparently is getting on a schedule, which is good for him. Like, he should be doing that. He should be getting on a schedule, having order to his life, which he swears he hates, but it sounds like he's actually doing some of it now. You know what I mean? So, good for him. That's a good, positive thing. I'm glad for him. You know? I think it sucks that he has to do it with Lalcow, who he said he outright didn't want to do Lalcow stuff again, yet he's doing the Lalcow stuff again.
And yet, according to what you just said, they're bringing some type of order and stability to his life that you certainly weren't going to. So, oh no, you're mad that fucking these guys are going to molest him and you couldn't. Basically, that's all he's really mad about. He's mad that Keem was able to take advantage of his ass and DSP couldn't do it. That's all it really comes down to. It's as blatant as that.
For what I'm to understand, it's a talk show. It's not him doing stunts and horrible, embarrassing things. So I guess that's a good thing. If that's what he wants to do, then more power to him. And I'm glad that he's doing it and he's going to have success doing it. Hope.
Well, Wings is a liability in that, and all the bullshit Boogie has been doing as of late is already all the attention that they need. They don't need Wings over there. That's why they put him on that. I'm assuming that's why he's on this show over here, to try to build the situation up. But yet again, Boogie in his own is a fucking liability all in itself. You don't need two of them.
Fully.
Then again, just about everybody on that network is a fucking liability and whatnot. And if some of the talk that's going on over there around the Amber and fucking something Gemini, if that nonsense is going on and shit, and people are being doxxed and people are having their messages leaked and shit, I mean, fucking A, bro, everybody over there is a fucking liability. Everybody and whatnot. And the fact that Becky Boop hasn't shown back up on the internet yet was probably the smartest thing that chick has done. And by the time she does come back, Keem is going to have his nose all up her dress because he needs her back. He realized that, yeah, I tried to buck break you and make you kiss the ring, bitch. And in actuality, shit has gotten worse. You know what I'm saying? Shit has gotten a lot worse. So, especially that deal with Amber, that was literally a deal with the devil. I didn't know it was going to end as badly as it did, or as it looks like it's about to. But yikes to that.
What's up, Alex from Phoenix? How you doing, man?
Yikes.
We got some shout outs to do.
Oh no. Shout outs. Sometimes
Someone tipped $2 says, to be honest, I don't really care about Asmongold, but I don't hate him either. I don't think a lot of fans do. I think the ones that are concerned are detractors hoping to send clips or spin a narrative that you're begging him to come on. Exactly. Which obviously is not the case. Remember, from November through like March, these idiots kept saying shit about Asmongold in my chat. I'm like, why are you even bringing him up? Like, what are you talking about? I'm doing good. Things are great. Why do I need to keep talking about this guy? It's them. They want to act like my success is reliant on Asmongold.
Your resurgence was relying on him. Same thing with Kino Casino. It's true. That's why you ain't sat there and fucking made your little dedicated segment, called him a bitch and all this bullshit because you were trying to reach out to him on Twitter and then fucking Discord and he wouldn't fucking answer you back or nothing. Right? And realistically, that only happened not because of the detractors who clipped it, but because of the Yeats Twitter /X account. If they didn't come through on that shit, then Asmongold would have never have seen it. So there was a lot of moving parts, if you will, that contributed to even that situation happening. And even then, I still think Asmongold didn't want to do it. You were literally just the Make-A-Wish Foundation, situation for him for the year. That's all it was. And then let's not act like you still didn't want to reap the benefits of that shit later. You've been crying the months that DSP's talking about all these people were coming up in his chat and all this bullshit were the same months that DSP was like, well, Asmongold says he might start a podcast and he may let me, and he said he would have me on and this, that, and the third. Who kept harping that bullshit? So don't act like this was a one-sided situation where detractors are pushing a narrative and shit, because that's not true.
It's not.
It's not
yes,
true.
He absolutely positively gave me a break. He gave me some exposure that literally freed me from the chains of having these kind of goals and having to hit milestone events.
You mean the fucking chains that you put upon yourself? I don't remember Almighty Tevin Praiseby putting those shackles on you and shit. I don't remember Snortburnell doing that shit. I don't remember fucking Secret Limited and fucking Memology doing that shit. Who put the shackles on you, Phil? Who put you into slavery? Tell me who put you into slavery, Phil. I want to know.
And things like that. And now DSP Tries It is, by the way, this is so bright. Hold on a second. DSP Tries It is done simply for fun. I don't have to do it, right? We can jump between games on the fly. Stream revenue is so good that we can have slower streams and not have to worry about, oh no, the sky is falling and everything is ending.
But that literally is what's going on. That's why you're quitting games or you're threatening to quit games. Huh? Like, it's whatever.
Right? Things are much better. Variety of games. Huge variety of games now on the streams that I never used to do. You know what I'm saying? So that was awesome that I got all of that based on his appearance and our conversation in November. But I'm not reliant on the guy to make content. Like, I've been doing content for 18 years. I made tons of content before he even existed on the internet.
And yet he's made himself a multi-millionaire multiple times over than what you've made in a shorter amount of time. Like, when people say who's successful just out of streamers, just out of people on his level, like, Asmongold's in that conversation. He's definitely in the top 10 if he's not in the top 5. You're nowhere, you're not even in the top 100. Now, if we're talking about e-begging, then shit, I would have to say it's between you and fucking Quartering. And even then, Quartering is more successful than you because he's literally made millions of dollars and spent millions of dollars of other people's money to enrich himself. You didn't do any of that. You did all your begging and shit to fucking fuel your addictions. Make of that what you will. And the only thing you could really stand on is I've been here for 18 years. Like, anybody gives a flying fuck about that.
And I'm going to make content for as long as I so choose.
You mean as long as you can? What are you going to retire with, Phil? You got a pension somewhere that we don't know about? You got some investments going on? You own any stock? You know what I'm saying? Anything at all? No? Okay, well, then you choose to means not a damn thing. Till death. Till the grave, basically. And then even after that, it's still unfortunate that your mistakes will still cause suffering to other people, because what the hell is Kat going to do when you're dead? Unless she leaves you first. Food for thought.
I'm good. You know, I don't need Asmongold's involvement. It's nice to have him in the equation if he ever wants to have another conversation. I'm not saying no, but I don't necessarily, like right now, I don't even know what I would talk to him about. Besides, here's what I would do. I would thank him sincerely for giving me that chance that he did in November and let him know how much that has helped me.
That sounds disingenuous as hell.
And how things have changed for the better in those months. And then I have no clue what else I would talk about because I don't even know what's on his mind. I don't watch his stuff. So,
but he's a person, and supposedly you guys share a common interest in gaming. There's nothing in gaming that you want to talk to him about at all? No? Okay. Fucking dent.
How would I know what's going on with him? You know? I do think it's bullshit he got banned.
Oh, so you want drama? Okay, I got you. Okay, fair enough. I got you. You want drama. Gotcha.
During my birthday marathon, when he was going to come on my show, getting banned like that was awful. And maybe what I would do is pick his brain about what's going on Twitch and the fact that he's being treated unfairly compared to other people there and why he continues to stream there unless it's just money, which it might be. Maybe it's just the money is so good for him. Because for me, that's why it's not worth it. The money was gone. Like, what the fuck do I care about streaming on Twitch now? Like, there's no positive benefit of being over there.
Even though Asmongold basically told you to get down and kiss the ring when he said, yeah, if you're doing gaming content, the ad revenue there is still fucking amazing compared to YouTube. If you're doing political stuff like he's doing, it's not going to benefit you whatsoever. It's just part of his brand. It's part of his exposure. Did we completely like memory hole that part of the conversation? Maybe we did. It's possible.
So maybe that would be the conversation. And maybe it would turn into a really good one. I don't know.
Holy shit, you're not even a person, bro. You're not even a person. That's so crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. That's it for me. Happy May burst to all of you and shit and whatnot. Enjoy your day. Like I said, I think that being said has something going on. I'm hoping Gundam's going to be streaming that later. I'm pretty sure Tevin's going to be streaming that later, so I may definitely check that out. And whatnot. Rich is out there, but no one gives a fuck about him. It is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy your Monday and whatnot. Hopefully your week goes well and whatnot. I'll see if I can have some of those clips inserted in. Hopefully you guys have already seen it. If not, that's on me. And I'll catch you guys for the next one of these, ladies and gentlemen. This has been, I'll name that segment later, or I'll name this segment later. GTG, Spits That Grease, so on and so forth. Take care of yourselves, people. Take care of yourselves. And happy May burst. Later, people.